Okay, ready, recording, yeah.
All good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Hi everyone. So yeah, my name's Lewis Ratcliff. I work for Loughborough University here in the UK. I'm also a graduate of the university. So I graduated back in 2019 after doing a 4-year bachelor's degree in our business school, doing management. And I've worked for the university ever since. So first in the business school and then moving over to international student recruitment. So at the moment, I look after North America and all of our applicants and offer holders from North America. And then also I look after all of our undergraduate bachelor students from all over the world as well. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through kind of what Loughborough University offers for our students who are looking at the postgraduate taught masters level. Um, Run through kind of who we are as Loughborough University, what we offer, where we are, and hopefully answer some of the questions that you might be thinking about. And then yeah, feel free to ask anything extra as we go along. So first of all, where is Loughborough? So sometimes because we're not a major city in the UK, people aren't quite sure who we are or where we kind of come from. So we are based in the UK, and the dot in the middle of that map of the UK is our Loughborough campus. So that's our East Midlands campus, where the majority of our undergraduate students and lots of our master students are based. But we also have a second campus down in London as well, which is down just underneath. That's about an hour and a half away, and that's only postgraduate taught master's students there at the London campus. So this is our East Midlands campus up in Loughborough. So it's one of the biggest campuses in the UK, and also set out a little bit more like a US style college would be. So we have our accommodation on site. We have our teaching facilities, our sports facilities. We have shops, restaurants, medical centres, pharmacy, hairdressers, Starbucks, literally everything that you could imagine on campus. And that's something probably a little bit more unique that you would see in the UK, whereas the majority of other UK universities may be based in the bigger cities like Birmingham, London, Manchester, those kind of places that don't have the kind of space that we can kind of offer. And that's a really unique experience for all of the students, including our master students there on the East Midlands campus. I will run through what kind of subjects that we kind of hold there and how that's different to Loughborough, London, as we go through the presentation. But it's a really nice open green space. It's a lovely place to study. There's about 18,000 students there on our East Midlands campus, so it's really busy, it's really lively, and there's lots to kind of offer there. It's also because we're outside of a major city, it's really safe. We have 24-hour security, etc. So it's a really nice place where students can kind of relax when they're studying their master's degree. Then obviously we have our London campus down in our capital. So this is on the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. So that's where the London 2012 Olympics was held. The Here East building, which you can see there in the foreground, that is where the old BBC Broadcasting Centre was. So that's where all the broadcasting for the Olympics originally happened. We took part of that over as the founding university back in 2012, 2015, and we've now had that campus there for over 10 years. It is much smaller than the main campus up in the East Midlands, but it offers a very unique experience for students who have employability on their mind, because obviously it's right in the middle of London. So Stratford is about 5 or 10 minutes on the tube down into central London. There's also lots of facilities there as part of the Olympics, which are still used. So the Copper Box Arena, which is next to the campus, it has a gym in it. You can use things like the swimming pool and the velodrome and various other facilities around the London campus. And it's a really nice kind of place to study if you're interested in being in that bigger city rather than being on the campus over in our East Midlands. So in terms of who we are and what our achievements are as a university, so We're currently top 10 UK university. So across all the UK league tables, we are top 10. We have been for a decade now. So we are right up there with the best universities in the UK. We are the number one university in the world for sport as well. So if you're interested in a master's in a sporting subject, we have our sports related medicine side subjects up in our East Midlands campus. And then we have the Institute for Sport Business down in London. They're all encapsulated in that number one best university in the world on the QS World Rankings. And again, we've held that now for 10 years. So that's kind of one of the biggest things that we're known for as a university. We're also very, very well ranked for areas such as business, for engineering, for communications and media, for things like chemical engineering, art and design. So art and design is top 40 in the world as well, and that is slightly out of date now with the place 224 overall. We're now 203, I believe, overall in the world. So we've jumped up. So we're making some really, really big strides in areas such as our research excellence, and that's driven by lots of the kind of subjects and the research that we do for master's students areas like art design, sports, engineering, business, and those kind of subjects. So we're right up there in terms of one of the top universities, not just in the UK but also in the world, and we're looking to push forward and become even better in the future. So one of the things that we are most well known for, specifically in the UK, is our student experience. So Loughborough up in our East Midlands, we have over 150 clubs and societies. About 65 of those are sports related, and that's part of being the number one university in the UK for sport, not just as a subject for the QS World Rankings, but also playing competitive sport. So if there are any of you who are looking to carry on playing, if you're in the NCAA and have run out of eligibility years, we have lots of students from the US who are continuing to play in Bucks, British University in college sport, which is the equivalent to the NCAA, because you can continue to come and play in the UK as part of your masters. So if you're interested in being a part of sport, we are the best university in the UK in terms of our facilities and what we offer. So slightly different to the Bucks with the NCAA, but we have an overall winner every year, and Loughborough have won it every year since it was inaugurated. I believe that's 45 years in a row now, so we've never been beaten by a UK institution of sport. So if that's something you're interested in, then Loughborough is definitely the place for you. Obviously, employability is also very, very key. So whether you're doing a bachelor's or a master's course, employability is the number one thing on lots of students' minds, obviously, and we excel in that in terms of supporting our students. So we're not only a top 10 UK university, but we're also top 10 in our graduate prospects as well. So that's the quality of the employment, the salary related to your employment, the kind of jobs and the kind of skills that you can develop. We are one of the best in the UK at supporting our students into great future careers, and that might be after your master's, once you've got a sort of specific degree that will help you to go down a particular career area that you would like to focus on. One thing that we also offer at Loughborough is huge career support after you've left. So once you've graduated from your master's, you can still gain access to our employability and career service, and that's up for 5 years afterwards. So whether you go back to the US, whether you stay in the UK on a postgraduate study visa, whether you go somewhere else, you can still use all the incredible support that we offer at Loughborough. Whether that's looking for a job in the UK, but we also have international specialists at employability overseas. So if you're looking to get a job overseas abroad, then you can use our international career specialists in that area. We have career services which put on big fairs both in sort of September, October time, but then also in the spring. They're some of the biggest fairs in the UK, and we also have specific fairs for engineering students, specific fairs for sports students. So whatever kind of area that you're going into, we'll have something to support you to enable you hopefully to get the best job possible once you've finished your time at Loughborough. Some of that is driven by the key partners that we work with. So from an engineering point of view, we work with Rolls-Royce. We have done for over 60 years, and we support them in their creation of their gas turbine engines for their planes. So we're a key support for them in that, and we actually have them on campus as well. So they work with our aeronautical engineering department. We have Caterpillar. We've worked for them for a huge amount of time, looking at their engine technology and their hybrid powertrains. Again, focusing on that engineering side. We really excel in supporting students who are looking at those kind of subjects. And then people like Adidas, we've partnered with them. We also partner with Ping Golf. We partner with a number of other major sports brands. So, for example, obviously you've just had the US World Cup. Previous World Cups, previous European Cups, and previous international tournaments, we have developed the footballs for them. Part of our sports technology school, we actually develop the footballs for those major tournaments. So if you've ever watched a World Cup in the past, you've probably seen it being played with a Loughborough University supported football in terms of the design of the ball, how it flies through the air, all of that kind of stuff. So we support some of the biggest brands in the world in developing this sort of technology. And these kind of partners, all of the work that we do in terms of the research and the academics and professors that we have, all drives what you learn as part of your master's courses at Loughborough to make sure not only is it world-leading education, but it's also looking at the future in terms of where we want to kind of get our students to a point where they're looking forwards, they're looking for a career that's going to be supported in the future and hopefully secure for the future as well. So in terms of our campus, so as I said, I'll pop that up again. If you're on our East Midlands campus, that's all Loughborough University, and it's a fantastic place to study. I was there for 4 years. I've been there 11 years now in total, and it is generally one of my favourite places in the world to be when you're on campus, especially when all the students are back and it's busy and it's vibrant and it's a lovely sort of summer period. Obviously, being the UK, it does get cold. So if you do want to study at Loughborough or in the UK, make sure you bring a big coat because it does get pretty cold and wet and rainy. But generally, the weather recently has been very, very nice, and it's a lovely sort of place to kind of study. It is about over 500 acres in size. That's all of the accommodation, things like your sports facilities and all our investments for infrastructure. But we've had about £350 million invested in those facilities in the last sort of 10 years. And we're one of the best universities in the UK in terms of facilities. And we've also just renewed our Green Spaces Green Flag Award as well, with kind of all the areas on campus that students can explore from the woods, the Bluebell Woods to all the greenery. I believe there's around 10,000 trees or something like that on Loughborough's campus. So it's a really nice open and green space to kind of study. Slightly different to a major city in the UK, and that's something that we like to offer students. If you're not interested in being in the centre of a major city, we offer this beautiful campus, but also we offer that at the same time as the academic excellence, the sports facilities. We have that all at the same time. Obviously, the world-class facilities are supported by our Loughborough Sport. So we have our 50-metre Olympic-sized swimming pool, our athletics track, hockey, football, rugby pitches, our tennis centre, which is as part of the LTA here in the UK. We have our football stadium, our cricket centre, which is also run by the England Cricket Board, and then we have our two world-class gyms as well. The bigger of the two gyms, Power Base as we call it, is the biggest strength and conditioning area in Europe. So it's a fantastic kind of space for students to enjoy. And what we like to say to everyone is that no matter what student you are, whether you're a bachelor's student, a master's student, whether you're a performance athlete or just someone that wants to have a go, all of these facilities are open for you. We don't hide anything away. We don't lock anything away just for those performance athletes. Everything is available for everyone to use. And that's a really, really nice sort of experience for students to use the facilities that effectively some of our GB Olympic and International Olympic athletes are also training at. So yeah, very, very high caliber. We also have our STEM lab, so that was built probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. So that's a state-of-the-art facility supporting all of our engineering and science subjects, and that's on the west part of campus. And that basically gives students everything that they could possibly need from those STEM subjects to not only excel in the classroom, but put all of that into kind of real-world applications so that when you've graduated from whatever course you might be on in those subjects, you have the practical know-how of how to complete experiments, how to use equipment, but also how to be safe in the process, so that when you're going into your career, you've not just learned it out of a textbook, but everything is practical, and everything is everything's supported within that STEM lab area. Also, something that's really, really important to students at the moment, so the use of AI. So we've called our areas DigiLabs. There's 3 centres across our campus supporting every single course at Loughborough now. And these DigiLabs are full of artificial intelligence, virtual reality, things like drone areas, all the laboratory equipment that you could possibly need to apply anything like artificial intelligence and digital areas into your careers. So often the worry from students is AI going to take my job? And what Loughborough's attitude to that is no, but it will support you in terms of your learning and how you apply yourself to your job and what kind of technology you have access to. So whether you are doing a sports science course, whether you're doing a business course, whether you're doing engineering, there will be some form of AI DigiLabs integration into that. And that's happening more and more across our campus, so that, again, you are fully equipped and fully prepared for the new world in terms of careers. But our idea is that AI isn't to take jobs, it's to support you and make jobs better. And that's how we kind of treat it during your academics. So they're really exciting places on campus. They're a lot of fun, but they really do support sort of moving your careers into a digital age. So in terms of the Loughborough experience, that comes down to mostly some of our subjects. So these are the ones that we offer on our East Midlands campus. Now, these are a mixture of undergraduate, bachelor's and master students, but the general subject areas apply. So our biosciences, our architecture areas, things like construction management, our business and economics areas, our art and design, all of the engineering that we kind of offer at Loughborough, from both aeronautical, automotive to chemical, mechanical, those kind of things. And then areas such as psychology, sports psychology, criminology, sociology, our humanities kind of subjects, communications and media, and then obviously our sports related subjects. So our sports science, sports management or sports business. And then obviously I will talk about the subjects that are available down in the London campus as well. But we have a really, really big, broad range of subjects. The only things we don't do are things like medicine, so pure medicine, dentistry, veterinary, because we don't have the schools, but we pretty much cover everything else on our East Midlands campus. So career enhancing opportunities is really, really important for us. So our careers service is really key, and we send out thousands of students, both from our masters and our undergraduate courses each year on placements and internships. And we have one of the best career services in the UK. So whatever course you're on, you'll be provided with a huge amount of guidance and also potential business support. So if you want to start up your own business, we have facilities and support that we can offer you for that as well, if you're more of the entrepreneur, both on our East Midlands and also down in London. And employable graduates is the most important thing. So our average salaries are very positive. We have big employers, including people like PwC, EY, Amazon, Rolls-Royce, Jaguar Land Rover, Adidas, Nike. If anyone's interested in automotive engineering side, we have a graduate in every Formula One team, but Ferrari. We have 2 team principals who have done our bachelor's automotive engineering course in both Red Bull and Haas F1. So we have a huge amount of employability, huge links to real world applications of this, so you can really see where you can potentially end up as a job afterwards by looking at, first of all, who our lecturers are, who our professors are, where they've come from. Many are academia, but also many have come from the real world of work and are now teaching, and then also through sort of the graduate kind of companies that our students work with. And there's a few other big names that we kind of have that we have students working with across a huge range of different employers. And all of those companies will have engineering departments, they will have tech departments, they will have business and finance and e-commerce departments. So it's not just a case of, if you're at Adidas, you must be sporty. They won't. They'll have finance areas, they'll have marketing, they'll have procurement, supply chain, materials, art, design, all of that kind of stuff. So we have students working sort of across the board in these companies. Obviously, Loughborough is very, very big for our sports. So as I said, we are number one in the world for our sporting subjects. We are also number one in the UK for competitive sports. So if you are a student who is finishing with their NCAA and would like to come to the UK to participate in Bucks, Loughborough University is the best option if you're interested in sport. We provide a huge amount of sort of facilities and support for students. So as I said before, so we've got our athletic centre, both 400-metre track, throwing centre, and indoor area. We have our Loughborough University football stadium, where our first team generally plays. That's shared by a Premier League football club, their B team, Notts Forest, who are just up the road from us. They have their games at our pitch. We have our indoor and outdoor tennis courts, power base, gym, and then our 50-meter swimming pool. And that's just a sort of a selection of some of the sports facilities that we have. And like I said, it doesn't matter what kind of student you are, whether you are a D1 NCAA student, we can cater for you. If you are a D2, D3, we can cater for you in some of our non-performance sort of squads. If you are also just a recreational player, then we can cater for you. And if you just want to try something out, we have a huge amount of sports run clubs which are there just to kind of give you the opportunity to try something when you're at Loughborough. In terms of if you are a performance athlete, again, it's slightly different in terms of the offering that we have. So we have both performance athletes, then we have our Bucks Athletics Union athletes, and then we have our sort of development athletes. So if you're in that top sort of bracket, we're talking national, international level athlete, we can cater for you as well, especially if you're, sort of that sort of D1 level in certain sports. We have the number one swimming program in the UK, the number one track and field program in the UK. We have lots of students coming over for areas such as tennis, hockey, rugby, those kind of things. We have an NFL team as well at Loughborough. We have the only NFL academy in the UK, so the official NFL academy we have at Loughborough as well. So we have a huge amount of facilities that we can support with that high-end kind of area. And with that, we have various national governing bodies also with us on campus. A really good way to kind of show you this is the Olympics and Paralympics from 2024. So if we were a country in the Olympics, Loughborough would have finished 16th in the standings, ahead of countries like Brazil, Austria, South Africa, and Jamaica. So if you added all of our medals up, we would have been 16th on the table, and that is from a university in the East Midlands of the UK. So we have a really, really good pedigree from the Olympics, and then Paralympics, we would have been top 20 as well. And 120 Loughborough Link athletes and staff members went over to Paris from 14 different nations. So we really do have a sort of great offering for those students who are looking for that performance athlete kind of environment, which you may have had during your bachelor's in the US. We can provide that for you here at Loughborough. In terms of the sporting ecosystem, again, we have links to a huge amount of different areas. So national governing bodies like British Athletics, British Triathlon, the FA, the LTA, people like Leicester Tigers, which are about 15-20 minutes down the road from us. Notts Forest, again, about 25 minutes away from us. And then West Ham United, because they own the Olympic stadium pitch down in London as well. So in terms of careers in sport, if you're looking to have a career, we basically have lots and lots of links to careers opportunities within these companies and these national governing bodies, many of which actually have their headquarters on our sport park, our area at Loughborough, and you will have access to kind of speak to them, and you'll see the academy there in the middle, the NFL academy as well. So we have really, really good links to those that want to look at careers in sport, whether you play sport or not, but definitely careers in sport, we can help with that as well. And then something in terms of the research areas, which links into the kind of master's subjects that we offer in sport. GSUN, so it's an international global sport university network. You can see University of Oregon on there, Massachusetts Institute of Technology as well. We work with these universities in GSUN as one of the founding partners to solve complex problems within sport, and that's all driven into what we sort of teach you. So in terms of the universities internationally and in the US that we work with, they are some of the best in the world. So a slightly different offering is our London campus. So this is a postgraduate master's campus only. So there's no bachelor students there in the heart of London in that Here East building. It's a cluster of various different universities. So it's not just there. I believe UCL are there and then a couple of other universities. And we all share various spaces within this building, along with small and medium enterprises and various other sort of up and coming businesses in that area of Stratford, London. So it's a really great place for students who want to be part of the big city, want to have employability on their doorstep, but also want the academic and the teaching to back that up. We offer that as part of our London campus. So we have various institutes. So the Institute for Creative Futures, Institute for Digital Technologies, Institute for Sports Business, Institute for Diplomacy and International Affairs, and then International Management and Entrepreneurship. So these cover a variety of different masters and PhD programs across these 5 institutes. We offer things like an LLM law masters, things like sports management, things like entrepreneurship, diplomacy, things like digital finance, digital marketing, and these are all offered on our London campus. It's a much smaller campus in terms of the subject offering and the number of students, but it's a really great place if you want that sort of access to the city, but also access to fantastic kind of lecturers, facilities, and that forward thinking, future thinking, entrepreneurial thinking kind of subjects. And they're all 1-year masters in the UK. In terms of what our campus is like, what we kind of say to students is it's just outside London, so you're not in the city centre like you would be for some of the other major universities there. We're just outside London. We're on that Olympic Park, so again, the campus feel is very nice. It's very green. It's very open. It's very sort of young. There's lots of sort of eateries and drinking areas down on the canal. We're right next to the Stratford Tube Station. We've also got Stratford International, one of Europe's biggest malls available on your walking distance, and there's also accommodation as well. So we work with Unite students, so Stratford 1 building, which is about 10-minute walk from campus. There are rooms available for students to kind of get there for their masters, or if you want to, you can also live in the city. And London is an amazing place. Some of you may have been before, but if you haven't, it's an absolutely beautiful city. There's a huge amount of history, and that's all on your doorstep whilst you are studying your masters on that London campus. So the collaborative project. So this is a really interesting thing that we developed as part of the Loughborough London offering. So most of the UK have 1-year masters, which means we don't have internships inside that. So there's just not enough time, including your teaching. So semester 1 and semester 2 are the main teaching blocks, and then semester 3 over the summer is where you complete your dissertation or your project. There's generally not enough time to gain access to a 6-month internship, for example. So what we developed was the collaborative project. And this is where you will work with other Loughborough London students across various different institutes to solve real-world business problems. So we have partners that include West Ham United, Tata Steel, Ford, Minority Right Group International, Sports Interactive, all of these kind of companies. And they basically come to Loughborough. They say, we have a problem that we need solving. It might be in various different areas, and we will bring all of our students together as part of that collaborative project. And we will say, your coursework or your project is to fix this for them, is to work with the business, work directly with employers to fix this problem. So it's a mixture of internship and academia put together. And we have really great uptake with companies who are looking to take part in this. Students from across the university will come together. So you're not just, if you are I don't know, a digital finance master student, you're not just there with digital finance students, you'll be there with students from across the various institutes, and you'll be working to actually develop and fix that problem. There's a huge amount of site visits for those companies, networking opportunities. Some students get offered internship and work experience and job opportunities after they graduate because of the performance on this project. So it's almost like an interview by the company to the student to say, here's a project, we want to see how you work and what kind of ideas you come up with. And sometimes after that, you'll then get approached and go, actually, we want you as part of our team because we think you did a great job as part of that. So it's a way of, bringing that academia and the employability into one, so that you can do both at the same time without having to either extend your master's or try and find sort of employability work. And some of these companies are actually in that Here East building with Loughborough. So, for example, Ford is next door. Their tech development centre is next door to us. So you don't have to travel halfway across the UK to go and visit them. They're literally on the doorstep. So it's a really, really great project that they brought to London. It's very, very successful with the students, and it's one of my favourite things about the Loughborough London campus. So finally, scholarships. Now, the Global Excellence Scholarship is for the London campus. That is up to a 90% tuition fee waiver, but that is application only. The Excellence Scholarship is for any of our campuses. That's automatic if you get the equivalent of a first class degree in the UK. So that's £6,000. We have a specific USA Future Leaders Scholarship as well, which is application based. That's £10,000. If you join Loughborough London in January 2027, you'll have automatic £5,000 tuition fee waiver as part of our 10th anniversary award. We also have various sports scholarships. So if you're a performance athlete, you can get up to £5,000 cash bursaries per year. And you can also apply for the International Student Postgraduate Bursary, which is £12,000 per year as well. So there's a various areas of sort of financial support that we can offer. In terms of the internal ones that Loughborough offer, you can't stack them on top of each other, but you can get, up to sort of 90% waiver or 10,000 or a 6,000. So there's often something that we can offer you to kind of help with the cost, especially down in London, because we know how expensive London as a city can be. There's something that we can always offer students, and we encourage students to check out our scholarships online to make sure that they're aware of what they can apply for, what they have access to as well. And then obviously this being part of the Marshall Scholarship, kind of Marshall Mondays, you also have that you can look through, and all the information is kind of online. So we're very much aware of the cost of international education, and we want to support students with that to enable you to kind of come to either Loughborough in the East Midlands or the Loughborough London campus down in the capital. So that's kind of it from me. I know that was probably a huge amount of kind of information. There's lots of things that we kind of offer at Loughborough, from the academics to the sports to the two campuses. So does anyone kind of have any questions that they wanted to ask at the moment? Not sure if anything had gone into the chat. I don't think it has it?
Doesn't look like it.
Any burning questions from anyone? What I'll do quickly is I'll pop my email address in the chat. So if anyone has any questions that they would like to follow up with me on afterwards, whether that's a specific subject, whether that is the campus or the scholarships, then please feel free to kind of drop me an email, and I can kind of follow up with you afterwards, or you can contact, I'm sure, the team at the Marshall Scholarship, and they can support as well with any information. And like Michael said, this will be put online anyway, so you'll be able to go back and watch it if there's something that you may have missed or you'd like a bit more information on.
Absolutely. So if you want to just review a certain section again, it will be online in the next couple of days. Yeah, I'm not sure there are any questions otherwise. So yes, maybe we'll leave it there for today. Thank you very much, Lewis.
No problem.
It was a very engaging and interesting presentation. And yeah, see you next time at Marshall Mondays, hopefully.
Yeah. Right. Perfect. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Michael.
Lewis. Right.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Thanks everybody for attending. Bye.